Hello YouTubers, it's Travis. Welcome back to another Adventures in Forgotten Realms Best of 3 draft on MTG Arena with your host, Travis Semulin Sowers. That's me. I hope y'all are having a great day. Sometimes in a draft, you kind of can't get a real direction and you're not sure exactly which color or colors you're supposed to be playing, and you kind of end up with a 3-color pile. And that never happens to me, but sometimes it might happen to you. And if that did happen, how would you handle it? I hope you enjoyed today's draft. Alrighty, pack one, pick one. Good morning, Brownie. We did not, Ben Stark got me in round 2. It was close. It was close. This pack kind of sucks, eh? We've got something on a watch as like our only removal option, and not even really cards I want to build around very much. I could see taking the Iron Golem because you could play it in any deck. The rare's not particularly good. None of the uncommons get me excited. I think I'm just going to take here something on a watch. If we end up in green-white is usually where I'm most interested in that. We'll be happy to play it. And the card quality is so low that like I won't feel bad abandoning anything here, which is nice. Yeah, there was a lot of downtime in that particular sweatsuit, eh? But still a lot of fun. And it was interesting to do like a kind of cobbled together draft format. Oh wow, this pack is so much better than what we took, right? We've got Wizard Class, Skillport Merchant, Spoils of the Hunt, all first pickable cards. I got to take the Skillport Merchant. I think that's the best one. But I could still respect Wizard Class and Spoils of the Hunt, but this card's a little unbalanced. It's not quite Reaper Talisman levels of unbalanced, but it's really good. That can certainly happen, nobody, but it can also happen that my deck isn't better. And we keep drawing cards and they draw better cards, you know? So that's the problem with Flump, is that it would make me nervous to take it quite that early. Well, hello there. There's a lot of good cards here. I do like Rally Maneuver. Precipitous Drop is pretty reasonable. Paladin's good, but I don't see why you wouldn't just take the Dragonfire here. We might end up in a red-black deck, which would surprise me. I haven't been able to make that work very often, but if we're able to get into it, I'll take it. Good morning, John. That's a Goblin Morningstar, which I like quite a bit. Only other thing here really is the Investigator, and I don't think that's quite competing with it, eh? Yeah, Skillport is good. There's combos with it, but you don't even need them. It's just good. It's just a solid card. I think my ad wheel is resized a bit. And we need to readjust it. It'd be nice if we could get that in a standard size, but it's okay. Yeah, to be fair, Infested, we do not yet know that it is open. It would certainly be nice if it is, but my thought has always been that the draft really starts on pick 5. That's where traditionally you'll see something and be like, okay, why is this still here? This draft, interestingly, doesn't have that. But like this is usually where you'd see a Charmed Sleep or Minimus Containment or something. Without any real reason to move, I think we just take the Fang Blade. Not really, because there's so many good red cards that two people could have like, let's say somebody took a Dragon's Fire and somebody took a Hobgoblin Captain. maybe they're wrong and the Morningstar is better, but it doesn't really matter. It's entirely possible that 2 people took red cards. So it doesn't really mean that red's open yet. You can't really start to see signals until here. Here's where there weren't enough cards in every color that it's really possible that, you know, everybody skipped out on them. Now the problem here is this pack kind of sucks. So I don't know what you can do about it. But if there was a good card for any of the colors here, you could be like, wait a minute, why is this still here? I think I'm kind of led to want Thieves' Tools out of this pack, which doesn't really go in red-black, but that's fine. If I end up in blue-black, I'll be pretty happy to have it. See, this is the part where you're like, hang on a minute, meow. Why is there a Druid class? Is it because nobody at the table understands what this card does? Maybe. That doesn't actually work as a draft strategy in Fest. Well, it does if you're drafting at a table of people who know what they're doing. But giving your neighbors that much credit is incredibly risky. See, like, here's a pick 8 spoils of the hunt. What? Why is this still here? So what this is telling me is that green is incredibly open. I went infinite drafting on Magic Online for 5 years. I hear you, Infested, but now this opening pack was pretty rotten, to be fair. Iron Golem's probably all right, especially if we're looking at getting into black-green, which I think is a distinct possibility. Problem is that Investigator's really good, and if blue is this open, I may have to get in on it, but we're certainly green now. Could be green-red, could be blue-green. We'll see. Sometimes I find it's helpful to be like, hey, what are we actually playing? And just move all the crap that could get played over here. Because I think right now we're playing these cards. That's obviously not enough out of the first pack, but we're going to play some of the friends over here. Okay, then we're good, Infest. We're good. Clear Shot? Yeah, I remember Clear Shot. That was in Shadows, I think. With the cards I already have, the second Dragonfire is pretty appealing. Because we would get Morningstar, 2 Dragonfires, and I could potentially splash the Skillport Merchant if I wanted to. We've also got Critical Hit for a combat trick. Yeah, I think I like this. I'm willing to move. But apparently don't need to, because there's Varus, and Varus is pretty good. So let's do that then. So here's where we start thinking about, do we think that white's going to be open enough that I could move into it? Because the white dragon's pretty good. And we didn't really see any indication that red was open. Like, there's nothing wrong with the Ranger. I like the Ranger. But in your average green-white deck, Priest of Ancient Lord does a lot of work, and White Dragon is just really solid. Green's so open, I think we can get their own playables. I ain't willing to commit yet. It's close, but I'm going to take the Ranger. I know I'm playing green at this point, so I really need to have the second color kind of forced on me. Because right now, just playing these red cards is pretty good. Here's another spot that I think is really interesting, whether we take the Wilds or the Gnoll Hunter. Already having two splashable cards in the Dragon's Fire and the Skillport Merchant, I think the Evolving Wilds makes a lot of sense. As open as green is, I should find more 2-drops, even though that's a pretty good one. Oh, give me a sign. Because, like, I can take the Sylvan Shepherd. It's fine. I'll probably play it. I could conceivably take Monk class. It's solid card advantage. All right, let's at least consider it. We could be doing banned things under the right circumstances. Okay, now we're looking back at Jundish. Because there's a source of card advantage if you want one. And a might. So let's talk for a second. Okay, there's a source of card advantage no matter what I'm doing, which is nice because I'm in pack 2 and still don't know what my colors are yet. We could play an improvised weaponry. Garu, what's up?
Just wanted to pop in and continue my support.
Thank you very much, my friend. Y'all spam some cats for Garu Blade. Thank you, buddy. This has been an interesting draft. Let's put it that way. Okay, Sellsword is playable. I think we're probably doing red-green splashing Sarasa, which is not my favorite card, but something we could make work. Creature count's a tad low, so we need to fix that primarily, and then we should be good. So kind of just looking for like a couple decent bodies out of the next pack. Our removal suite already looks great. I currently can't play this combat trick if I'm playing a deck with 5 creatures. Like, that is somewhat obviously not enough. Yes, Infest. I've played a good bit of these drafts. There's a lot of players in Magic, and it was the same in Magic Online 5 years ago. Billy opens Red Mythic, Billy's playing red. Susie opens Black Rare, Susie's playing black. And she's not going to get off of it, and it doesn't matter what the signals are, and you can get away with that in modern Magic. Whereas back in my day, you couldn't. So Delina's probably something we can play, but it's really bad with what we're trying to do. It could accidentally win the game if I can get the board clear. I like that. Now, does this make a token that enters the battlefield? Does this combo with the Ellergard Ranger? Somebody tell me how Delina works with ETBs. Do I get them? Because if I do, I can make this work with the rest of this pack, presumably. But as it stands, it's a 4-mana 3/2 and a 4-mana 1/3 that we're looking to rock here, which does not have me terribly excited. Dragonfire number 3 does, though. The created tokens do enter the battlefield. So it's not going to trigger Varus. Creating a token that's a copy of the land, probably not very smart. But it would work with the Ranger, at least. So that's something. Could make copies of Sharessa. I don't know that that really does anything either. Mana's not really good enough for us to Merkle this, is it? What would it take for it to be good enough? That's looking to put double greens and double blacks in the same deck. And it's yet another 4 cost underpowered creature. Ugh. There's some problems happening here. It's still probably the pick. But this is getting weird. Because like all of a sudden, what? And here I am with 7 creatures. Like, I think we're going to have to play Interesting Jund. I don't want to have bad mana 3-color deck. I'll take the drop. We're on bad mana 3-color deck. I'm taking the drop because I really want to limit the number of double blacks here. And apparently we get infinite Dragonfires, which is cool. I like Dragonfire. How the hell are we going to kill anybody with this? Do I actually just need to take the Beholder here so I have something I can clonk people with? I think I do. Yeah, Evolving Wilds suddenly became the most important card in our deck. Now, normally I would want the other Fangblade, but I think the world we're living in is pretty desperate for this Barbarian. Because we're now just 3-color bad mana. Which is bloody terrifying. I've seen people playing decks like this, and one of the ways you can end up with it is if the rest of the table thinks that's what's happening. The other answer may be that I should have been black-red all along and got a little too married to green with the Spoils of the Hunt. Because as you're starting to look through this list, it looks like I'm basically splashing green for my 2 drops, a Spoils of the Hunt, and Shressa. So, oh, it'll certainly be fun to watch. That's the good news. There's playables if we want them, which I dig. I might actually prefer this as a kill condition. It'll be easier to cast. But it's possible that the table just undervalues Spoils of the Hunt, and the pack that Spoils was in was pretty stacked. Yeah, I think I was probably supposed to be black from the beginning. Oh, God, I don't know. I really don't know what happened here. This will be an interesting one to review on the weekly wrap-ups. That's all I know. Oh, yeah, it's impossible to build a 3-color deck without fixing, and yet that is what we must do. One of the ways we can do it is just by playing 18 lands. Because I don't need both of these Cell Swords. Because we've still functionally got 15 creatures in this deck if you consider the Morningstar and the Druids class as a creature. So the extra land gives me a little bit more options. But we're basically just straight up 3 colors at this point. We're not splashing. And green doesn't fix us for anything. We're kind of a black-red deck splashing for basilisks. Like, it's bloody scary. Yeah, I hope it goes 2-1 and gets overlooked in the wrap-up, because I don't want to talk about this deck. Like, this is just the devil's mana base, y'all. Yeah, this is basically the Devil's Mana base, but it lets me have green and red early, which is what I'm after, and then ideally draw into the black by the time I need it. We're going to play an extra land to go with the Bag of Holding, and we do have a little bit of treasure production on the Plundering Barbarian, which could help for the double black if we need it. I really can't and keep the curve where I want it. Like I've got an Armory Veteran, and I could look at making this more red-blackish, but I'm short playables to entirely get there. Yeah, that's essentially what I've done here in Infested, is we're basically 7-7-5. Well, kind of 7-7-6 if you think about it. The Evolving Wilds really is doing a lot of heavy lifting. But I should be able to get red or green early, which would let me cast either the Basilisks or the Dragon's Fire, which will kind of set a stall up. And then the goal for the deck is to, I guess, try to outvalue people with a Death Priest, Shressa, or just drain them with a Herald. I don't think it's a great plan, but it is the plan that we have. And as far as train wrecks go, it's at least a pretty one. All right, wish me luck. This is an ambitious build. If I saw someone's draft deck that looked like this, I would assume that they had made a mistake in drafting. And this might be a fun one to go back and do a draft review of, because something happened here, y'all. I wonder if they still got bugs going on with the matchmaking, because that was happening some yesterday. It would appear not. It just took a minute. You know, this hand is a Bag of Holding away from something interesting. I don't think this deck is going to mulligan particularly well. And it is worth noting, even with a hand like this, we're still relatively likely to draw land every other turn. So bear in mind that could still keep happening. Yeah, it may be. I just don't know how green isn't open if I'm getting Spoils of the Hunt that late. I should have played the Forest there, by the way. Just in case we drew Varus. That would have been a better line. So there's still decisions to make. I needed to play the Forest instead of the Swamp there. Death Touch and Trample are cute at least. Hey, look at you doing Bag of Holding things. That's impressive. That's really impressive. That is probably the card I wanted to draw most, because now I can cash these extra lands in for something. Glad to hear it, Ike. Thank you for getting the vaccine. Yeah, I don't mind drawing a cell sword. Means we ain't using the bag, but like I've got a 6-drop in the deck, so I don't mind hitting the land drops until 6. Go get him, little buddy. Okay, I guess I don't mind just continuing to hit all of my land drops now. Okay. Could also be an example of like, I just value some cards differently than other people. So he's 6 to drain. Yeah, which means I kind of want to play out 2 more lands currently so that I could activate him and bag. Because I'd just be draining now. It's obviously a good keep. Magic, thank you for the host. All right, there we go. Not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. Least aggro black-red deck ever. I mean, maybe they had a clunky draw. You know, they didn't draw any creatures. Their hand could have been full of active treasons and... Actually, I don't know what the heck they had. Maybe they kept a 2-lander and drew all lands, and we kept a 6-lander and drew all action. I don't know. I don't have much of a sideboard. And I am playing 3-color nonsense, so... Kind of is what it is. Alright, let's give it a go. They're ready to do some dungeon crawling. Okay, this looks more like what I would expect to see from that style of deck. They tricked me. Just hold on a little longer, buddies. That would have actually been a great turn to draw Delinda. So we could keep her alive and then play the Ranger and try to make some copies. That would be like sort of reasonable. I don't think I lose the game on the spot if they kill this. When does the cube come out for Arena? I thought I saw something that said it started on 9/3, but I must have been mistaken because that's today and there's no cube. I wasn't thinking I'd jam cube forever, but I thought 1 or 2 as a break would be nice. Oh, it is today. All right. Nice. Oh, it's Tinkerer's Cube? Which I don't think was a great cube, but something different. Yeah, I may just not play it. All right, taste it. I guess pretty good. How low can we go? I don't think I can actually go that low, because the bag of holding should take care of our card advantage problems. Let's live a little. Because they'd have to kill this and high roll, which they could do. All right, bag of holding. Show me your worth. I don't think we have any 1-drops, do we? No, I don't believe that we do. Well, that was fun. They got me there. We just got a bit behind in the beginning, didn't we? Good morning, Aaron. I mean, we didn't draw the things that are early interaction, and so we died. Well, it's just getting started, but so far it's pretty good, man. How you doing? I was just talking about that, Brownie. I don't know if I want to play Cube or not. And maybe that's good for the stream too, because I imagine literally everyone else who does Limited will be, oh my god, Cube! Blah, 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 Cube! And there must be other people that don't love Cube. Because I imagine if you want to watch Cube, you can find people to watch play Cube. But to answer your question, we will see. Yes, we will see. Yeah, conceptually, Cube sounds like a lot of fun. God, I'm sorry to hear that, Aaron. That's a frustrating morning. No Dragonfire one-time dealer? Why would you be attacking with the Geast? You've got the Manticore? And a land? I don't understand. Well, I think they'll understand that you did something. Didn't you close a colossal deal? And anyone who knows their salt in sales knows that sales meetings are pointless. Don't stress about that. Recover your leads. You can probably remember a lot more of them than you think. I've lost databases before. You're going to be okay, dude. You are absolutely going to be okay. Yeah, you're fine. They're not going to get mad at you. You closed a huge deal. They have a Manticore. It's okay to be frustrated, bud. Definitely okay to be frustrated. Take a minute, vent it all out, then get your butt to work fixing it. I have been there. I can still block the Manticore with Varus if I need to. And if they want to make this trade and clear out the Goblin, that's fine. I've still got a better board than them. And they're taking some damage on the way. I still think they have a Manticore in hand. Yeah, it's definitely a frustrating experience, but it's one that you can recover from. Actually, I don't need the treasure token. I can make the 1/1. The 1/1 has a lot of value just at blocking that Lightfoot rogue. I don't think I need to kill that rogue currently. It would only get me in 2 more points of damage. So they definitely have the Manticore. Which is fine. They're kind of like... Because I get to sacrifice it and draw the card. So I'm still not even down cards. And we're not scared of the Manticore. I feel like we're in a really good spot here. Go get him, little buddy. Drider. See, that's worth burning. That is definitively worth killing. Eventually. And if we kill it on our turn, we get to draw more cards. Who doesn't want more cards? This deck actually worked. Kind of surprised, but we take these. We take these. Because I can kind of just cut out all of the D&D rules I don't like for the game, which would be interesting. All right, let's get in here and do the next round. That's actually a pretty good opener for this deck, isn't it? If we're going to do that, do I save the Evolving Wilds to gain 2 off of the Druid class? That seems like a bit much. I'm still going to do it. The reason why is I don't know what I need the doubles of yet. There's double green and double black in this deck. So it can already go Druid class into Skullport Merchant and delay this decision. And the extra 2 life is just a bonus from it, I guess. I have to block this because we're getting chump checked otherwise. Like, there's a lot of things that get me, but you're going to have to show it to me. There is no such thing as free damage. I still don't know what the heck I need to get with this. I'm going to assume that it's black because there's less black sources and an even number of double blacks and double greens, but And I could spend black mana activating the merchant, so like there's that, but I don't know for sure which it is. Maybe green, especially, okay, now that they've killed it, it's definitely green, because that means I could Basilisk and Spoils in the same turn if I need to. Which I might need to. Another land is mighty nice. Although it's embarrassing that it's green, we can live with that. So this has to go almost immediately. Because the last thing I need is them getting active trees and value. Active treason is bad. Okay. We wouldn't mind another land, but I don't need that one. I got stuff to do for a while. Look at me breathing fire and stuff. Alright, so we can make a 6/6 to block. That ability isn't going anywhere. And I think Herald blocks just as well as a 6/6 right now. And my Herald kills their Herald, which is convenient. But I don't want their Herald sitting around here doing Herald things. Dag nabbit. I was using that. We do have a bag of holding, so holding one land is not crazy. Also, I think of the doubles we have, red is not one we need doubles of. But may as well have it in play. At a certain point, we'd like to be able to drain and activate a bag of holding. That's a lot of B holding you have there. Not much of a fan of it. Because we're taking a pretty big hit here. Yep, can't really block any of that. So that's 9, 10, 11, 12. Ouch. We could use a non-land draw here, Dak, if you were tracking that at home. And we didn't get one. And I think it's going to kill us. Not a huge fan of that. Here we are. Those are good attacks because I kind of have to block like this. I don't think that leaves us with draws. Actually, these are crap attacks. They should have swung team. Alright. Nothing we can do about that. So big stuff is kind of the problem here. And I don't have a lot of big stuff of my own. I think we have one of our own beholders, which I might like. And a 4-3 looks like it would at least be pretty good in combat. So I kind of want to get these two things in. What has to come out then? Well, that's the problem. The deck doesn't really function without the last pieces. Because the Barbarian was just here to make treasure. They don't have anything, right? And the mana's actually working out okay adjacent. I don't think I need to play a 2-2. I don't think I need a 3-mana 2-2. Yeah, we're basically doing terrible mana Jund. I kind of want the Bull Strength against them too. It's a little dangerous with Power Word Kill though. I suppose if we don't get any of the card advantage pieces, that's likely to happen to us. I could cut the Druid class. They're playing 2 Beholders. Frankly, just playing an enchantment's a bad idea. It's not going to do anything. Does that mean I want something like Great Axe? No. If that's the way, I'd rather just die. Alright, I can work with this. It's an 18-lander. We need to draw 1 land. Let's draw 1 land. I don't have quite enough to pull that off, Brownie. Because the Death Toucher should be able to do it on their own, right? So that assumes I have a Death Toucher that I want to attack, which means it would probably trade for a 2-drop while I killed a big one, which isn't really what I want the Death Toucher to do. I suppose it's kind of neat if you're going to play the Urkel. Kind of just looking for land here. Sold. Okay, fine. This is how I run dungeons. I feel like I might have Squeak. That was a good turn. Who says this set's just a coin flip? We're rolling dice, yo. They ate my fang blade. Don't much care for that. It's been a while since there was a legitimate black-red SAG deck, but people hated it just as much in formats where it was there. I don't know if you played a long time ago, but there was a core set that had active treason, and it was bloody miserable. That might have been it. It was a long time ago. But it certainly made you hate it just as much. Boop. Because you know what, the reason why, and it feels like you're getting better than a removal spell, right? But it's just turning active treason into a removal spell. The reason why is we're not used to 3 mana, like, kill anything spells. And going around your arse to get to your elbow to make 3 mana kill something while deal you damage just feels bad, right? Like, way back in the day when Dark Banishing existed, I don't know. It's like making a bad card good. Origins had Renown, and whoever went first won. Like, there was a sacrifice deck there, you are correct. But it was not quite as frustrating, because sometimes you could just go first and play a common 2/2 that turns into a 3/3. Be like, what? We got pretty lucky to win that game, I'm not going to lie, and I don't love our chances. for the next round. Like, by a lot, I don't love our chances. I'm not sure that there's much I can do about it. But here we are. All right, I can work with this. I kind of need to not trade this off so I can use Spoils of the Hunt next turn, which sucks, but as long as they play another creature, this is reasonable. Some interesting sequencing. It seems to me that they have a combat trick in their hand, which is fine, do what you gotta do, but... I'm gonna take it again, because I can potentially get some value off of this thing. Really don't seem to like her. Cool. They get a raise dead? I don't know why they'd be looking at their own graveyard. Get him a little closer to deader. They kind of need to kill that beholder. Which I do not believe will be trivial. In your Magic career, is there a best removal card that comes to mind? Is it Swords to Plowshares? I mean, Swords to Plowshares is probably one of the best removal spells ever to have been printed, but because of where and how I started playing, when I think of best removal spell, it's always Doomblade. Doomblade, just... there it is. Or sometimes Terror. I know it's not the best, but you were saying what's the best removal card that comes to mind? But Swords to Plowshares is obviously just better than those, right? I suspect you could make an argument that there's a few spells that just kill anything, like maybe Oblivion Ring. Maybe Cast Out is technically pretty good, but I don't know. Lot of things to think about. Pacifism was good in one set in 1972. And that's it. Sup, Wallet? I'm doing good. That was a fun draft. It wasn't quite chaos, but it was a weird one. It was a weird one. You were saying you would be willing to playtest, weren't you, Wallet? You may know this. When was the last time in Magic that it was a possible strategy to destroy opponents' lands regularly? At least 20 years ago. I remember that being a strategy and hating it. But I think it was maybe 15 years ago. I remember people doing it when I was like 18 or 19, and I'm 43. So you do the math. Well, I mean, it's been possible lately. They're saying, when has it been a viable strategy? It's never really been viable and limited. I should make a list of people to play test with. Because I actually kind of think I have a way to maybe kind of do the thing. There is a channel in the Discord. You could put that information in there. What's up, Andy? I could draw more than 2 lands. Trappez, have you any interest in Historic Brawl? That is a negative, Christopher. Or Christoph. They got a feign death. Okay, I'm not going to bother trying to kill it. Well, I think I can do I think I can actually do a playtest of the game, game's core mechanics in Roll20. Which I want to do right bloody now, but I think the right thing might be to finish my stream and then by myself build it and then recruit people to playtest it. What? Multiple lands? That's crazy. The main thing I want to pull off first for it, Wallet, is like a prototype and see if the prototype is fun. I want to make a prototype and then see if it's fun. Is this the 3rd black-red deck we've played in a row? For those who've been paying attention? Because I kind of haven't been. And then I'm like, wait a minute. Everybody's been active treasoning my crap. That's a little boring. It'd be nice to play against different decks. Yeah, the cube's out, but I'm not really, I don't like cube. Does that do anything? I don't think it do. I mean, it can trade for a 1T, but I've already got crap that can trade for a 1T. There are some upsides to cross-pod play. And overall, I think I prefer cross-pod play to pod play. That's still going to kill me, given the fullness of time. Interestingly, it would have blown up the Thieves' Tools, which is becoming a problem, so I should have kept it. Whoosh and kapow. I'm not sure what they got, so we're going to find out. It sure looks like I'm dead. Neither of these matter. So I can't block that. I can't drain them. I can't kill them. I do believe this here game's over. Let's move along. So there was some active treason stuff, sure. Or things that looked like active treason, but they never even actually resolved one. It's just black-red. And it's not even terrifying black-red stuff. I can beat that. Yeah, I should have kept the Barbarian to kill the tools. I think I mentioned that. The removal suite's really good, which has me a tad scared. But I think I've actually got the tools I need main deck to beat this. I should probably have the Beholder in when we go on the draw. Alright, let's give you a go. Every day I'm Yargolin. Boop. Every day I'm Yargolin. It's not very nice. Kind of needed that. Could use another black source, so we're going to go on the scry train. You are sort of another black source, especially if they're behind. Your black source said they can kill, but there's the potential for me to attack with it and copy the merchant. Now there is not that potential, which makes me a tad sad, but at least they didn't use it here. And I could top deck something cool to cast. Or they could have 2 power word kills. Don't you feign death it. Actually, you can go ahead and feign death it, that's fine. I was thinking there's no reason to wait on this, but that was the reason to wait, is if I could respond to a feigned death. The problem is, if I wait and respond to a feigned death, they could just draw something else. So I think it is right to try to sorcery speed the Chaos Channeler. It's a really good card. I'm kind of surprised at how good the Chaos Channeler worked out to be in this format. This would have been okay if we could have resolved it a while ago. We just haven't been able to. Guess we sit for a bit now. I'll probably have to Dragonspire that. I don't really want to, but I also don't think I can just continue to take 4 off of it. The ghoul's a bit more scary, but not much I can do about it. Six-turn clock, technically faster than theirs. Less likely to be faster than theirs now. It might have actually been a bad idea to equip that, because that's just setting them up to be able to steal it. Sorry, I'm starting to think about what soup to have for lunch, and we've made a couple mistakes in this round. That's a problem. That'll just kill me next turn. But not if they let me block it, so I'm good with that. They got the sequencing wrong. I know that's not what they meant to do. It's what they did. Sadly, I think I have to trade off Herald now, but we're not quite dead. We're pretty close to dead. This kills them if they don't have a blocker. So I presume they have a blocker. Oh, they read it. Okay. So they got something else too, or there's no reason not to pump again. Just a Westgate Regent. So basically, I think we're fine. Because this seems like a board state that we could probably handle. In Bizarro World, okay. Let's play an additional land. That'll help. Yuck. All right. You know, as train wrecky as that draft was, I'm not disappointed to have a 2-1 out of it. Like, that was a really difficult draft to navigate. And it does look like the cube is up, so that's interesting too. And it's Yargle Day. Happy Yargle Day. And a big thank you to my patrons. Thank you for supporting the work that we do here on YouTube, from the drafts every day to the Draft Hero to the second season of Joy of Drafting, which I will begin working on very soon. If you would like to support my work too, you can find a link below to my Patreon and become a patron. Thank you very much. Praise Banan.